everybody, Tony D with one last hot take of the evening. Going to do a hot take about China. Here's the update on China. The Chinese are apparently pushing for us to close the Chengdu province consulate in China. I guess it's an American consulate. So I guess that's going to close. It's a bit of a diplomatic tit for tat. Apparently the feds are going to be raiding the Houston Chinese consulate to see if the Chinese forgot to burn a few things. There are some patriotic Chinese Americans outside protesting the CCP right now. I saw the video. Godspeed, patriots. It was heartwarming to see that. And it's going to be interesting to see if China is going to blink. I kind of think they will. This is mostly diplomatic, but this kind of stuff has been going on for years. The Chinese are a communist country. They have no rules. They don't have to follow any rules. When you're in a Western democracy, you can't just send your embassy and then say, oh yeah, just spy on everybody while you're there. You can't say it. You can't do that. There's laws and traditions to respect. The communists don't have to respect any of that crap. They can tell you a bold-faced lie and then order all their people to also tell that bold-faced lie, and then also order them to spy and not tell anybody, or they'll be killed. And China has apparently been doing this for quite a while, and it's not surprising, really. What is surprising is that we let it go on for so long. I think part of the reason is that the Chinese seemingly have a lot of money. They kind of do and they kind of don't. They do in the sense that, we buy a lot of their products and the central government holds all the money. So when they spend it, they can spend it on whatever they want. So they could throw their weight around, and if they need to bribe somebody here or set up a spy ring that, provides whatever to the people we need to, or they need to spy on, they could do it. They have practically unlimited funds in that area. So what if their people starve? They don't care about their own people, obviously. If you've ever seen the footage from the Uyghurs in the train, a horrible train thing. If you haven't seen the drone footage from the train, yeah, it's really that bad. And the Chinese are not going to take Trump lying down. Trump is slowly pushing to decouple us from China and to decouple the Western world from China in the process. That's generally what happens. If the United States does something like that, generally we pressure our allies to do the same. Now, they don't always have to listen to us, but it depends on who's president. During the Obama administration, and especially during the Bush administration, when we told an ally to do something and they didn't do it, they usually got punished. The Bush administration in particular did that. They punished country after country if they didn't get on board with our wacky Iraq invasion. Some of it's just implied, and I'm sure Trump knows how to use that implication better than anyone. But Trump also isn't as popular as other U.S. presidents, especially to our allies. So some of them may see this as a chance to thumb their nose in Trump's face and go their own way and stick with China because maybe they're benefiting in some way. The Chinese telecommunications company is definitely something no one should be using. Us and our allies, I think you'd be an idiot to allow the Chinese to run your telecommunications network. That would have to be rife with people listening and recording and whatnot. There'd be backdoors galore in it for the Chinese government to go in and make sure that every secret that was said across those telephone virtual wires would be known to them. So bottom line is you can't trust the commies. You can't. They have no laws to constrain them, and when it comes to spy stuff, commies are big. They spend their money on spy stuff all day long. Everything else they cheap out on, right? Cheap out on their military. They're really not that great. I mean, they spend a lot, but it's for volume. It's for quantity, not quality. It tends to be. Yeah, the Chinese have made a lot more investments in infrastructure and other things, but they're communists, so their investments are sort of hit or miss because they don't do it organically. They're more central planners. So especially the stuff in their home country failed. Some of the stuff they did in other countries succeeded, and some of it failed. So it's kind of a mixed bag with them. But we need to get out. We've needed to get out away from them for a while. And, it seems that past presidents were so lazy or unwilling to pull away from China. I think mainly because they and their friends had too much money involved. And, really we needed to diversify our portfolio. Even though the Chinese, and again, I used the Chinese way back when, and I'll tell you, they'll cut you a good deal. But, at the end of the day, it's not worth it. It's not worth it in the long term. It's not worth it for our friends and allies who we should be doing more business with. And it's not worth it to us. Look at what happened with all our medical supplies. So many was made in China. We had nothing. We could all died. Imagine if we needed, aspirin to live and survive the pandemic. We could all died. China could have cut us off. We'd have been screwed. So I think this is a good thing. You cannot trust the Chinese government. And I just did a rant about LeBron James. I don't hear LeBron James crying about the Uyghurs. Seems to be crying, oh, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Oh, do the Uyghur lives matter, LeBron? Do they? Well, I did hear that the NBA finally canceled their contract with at least one Chinese company, but too little, too late. When a communist tells you to do something, you tell them to go pound sand. That's the way you do it. Hey, listen, I deleted my Blizzard Entertainment. It broke my heart. I loved that card game. I don't even remember the name of it now. The fantasy card game was like Magic the Gathering, but it wasn't that. What was it called? I don't even remember. But it was a good game. I played it every day, but I deleted that sucker. I said, screw these guys. I'm not going to support Blizzard. They're going to bow down to the Chinese. This is going to get a lot worse. I hate to tell you. So, we may bounce back from the virus and the economic devastation we caused ourselves, but there may be another, thing in that we may have to fight off the Chinese, at least diplomatically and economically. So, on that score, we may be in for some tough times ahead, but hopefully, if that does happen, we can unite as a country and all sort of move forward in rebuilding things and get more of a balanced sort of manufacturing base. We get some of it back. We wouldn't have all of it, but we'd have enough that we make stuff and, have stuff here that's reasonably cheap. But at the same time, we probably still would outsource quite a bit to places like India. And really, as I've said, we should make peace with Russia because they got a lot of land and they got people. And, I think we made peace with Russia. We could roll over anybody. Nobody could stand against us. Iran's a joke. We already sort of taken care of them. China's the last sort of domino. Just like a peek. With Russia, you could just go peek, and that would be the end of China. That'd be it. And then it'd be smooth sailing, unless, of course, this Pentagon report about aliens are true. And then, that would be peak 2020, right? Right around Christmas, the aliens come, and then we all have to band together to fight them, just as Trump has solved all the problems He has to come out and give that address. The aliens. I can't do Trump. I really gotta work on a Trump. The aliens are here. They have huge ships, but we will have the bigger and better ships to fight the alien menace. I can't do Trump. Tim Pool's doing Trump. He's doing a pretty damn good Trump. It does sound a lot like Steven Crowder's Trump, so I really think he's aping Crowder's Trump, which normally I would be able to do. I guess I got to listen to it because I can't do impersonations. I can only mimic other impersonations that I've heard. So I wouldn't be able to do Trump, but if I worked on it, I could probably do Steven Crowder's Trump, because that's a good one. You got to like kind of squish your face together. I'll work on it. See you next time.